guys? So here we are, new video, same day, a little later in the day. What I want to do today is I want to give you a list of everything that I have done to the car. Not only to give you just an idea of everything that I have, but just another idea of what it might cost if you want to do something like this. So I have the car sitting here, got the hood open. I even got my laptop. I have made a whole list of everything I have just so I don't miss anything. I'm going to try to split it up into two different ways. The first list is going to be just if you want to do the swap just to get the motor in the car, get the motor running, or get the car running. The second is going to be a list of everything that I did, so that's including turbo kit, trans, and all that other extra stuff that I decided to do secondhand. So let's get started. First thing is the car. The car, I paid $1,700 for it. It's a 92 SC300. It was originally automatic, but I switched to a manual. The interior wasn't all that great. It's not the worst. Over here, you see that's a little ripped. Normal wear and tear everywhere else. It's mostly clean, but it wasn't the cleanest car. It wasn't the shittiest car in the world. We have next. Next is the motor. So the motor is 2JZ VVTi. It came with an automatic transmission, which most of them do. This one's out of an Aristo. You can find them with manual transmissions, but the V160 is like $6,000, or the R154 is probably around $2,000 right now. But the R154 is really shitty feeling transmission, so I decided to go with the CD09. But I'll get into that later. Next I have here is the water pump, timing belt, valve cover, and the serpentine belt. So that's mostly just general maintenance. The water pump, changed that, timing belt, serpentine belt, and the valve cover gasket. You can't see that obviously because it's under valve cover. That was, water pump was $100. Timing belt was $200, valve cover gasket was $50, and the serpentine belt was $25. The next thing I have on here is the drive-by-wire delete, which you can't see it, but it goes inside this, and that basically makes it so the throttle is fully mechanical instead of electronic like stock. So it's all mechanical now. I think that was only like $20 from Drift Motion. Yep, it's only $20. Next I have is the manual pedal set, which, let me warn you, that was a pain in the ass to put in. It took me like 4 hours. That is right there. Came with the clutch pedal and the manual brake pedal, which is a little smaller than the automatic one. You can get by with doing the automatic brake pedal and just cut it, but I didn't want to be sloppy like that. Next is, so the manual pedal set was $485. The radiator hose, that's just this top radiator hose right there. That was another $40. The intercooler is CX Racing. It's just a cheapie. Works fine. It's actually a little crooked right now. Still need to fix that. That was $410. And pretty much that's all you kind of need to do, at least off the top of my head, is what I think you need to do the swap. Obviously you have to account for hoses and clamps and all the other stuff that you don't really plan for. But for me, that's pretty much all the general stuff, and now we can get into the fun stuff. First thing was turbo kit. So the turbo kit is a 67mm from Drift Motion. It came with the turbo, the manifold that you have wrapped up down in there, the wastegate, which is way down in there, all the hoses and clamps and everything that you need to bolt it up. It even came with new bolts, or new studs for the exhaust manifold, because the two middle runners, I believe it's under these two on the bottom, the stock studs are too long to fit on the manifold, so they give you shorter ones to make that work. And that was $1,500. Motor mounts are from Drift Motion. The ones that I got or ones that came on the car were split, so I just had to get new ones. That was 180 bucks. The oil sandwich plate was 20 bucks. What else do we have here? The Diff Adapter. So you're not going to be able to see that, but the Diff Adapter pretty much adapts the automatic drive shaft to the manual one, or at least I should say the Nissan one. You're not going to be able to see it, but I believe the stock one is a 3-bolt, and the one that I have is a 4-bolt for the drive shaft. And that was 150 bucks. The injectors are 1000cc injectors. Those are Bosch injectors. They're 475. The radiator fans are Mishimoto. I decided not to keep the stock clutch fan and went with Mishimoto fans. I have those wired up to the switch in my dash, which you probably saw in the last video. Those were, how much were those? Those were 150. The fuel pump was a Walbro 450. That was 130 bucks. The map sensor was 135. The Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator was 230. The fuel rail was 230. Fuel damper bypass hose was 60 bucks. The power steering hose, which is a solid hose that goes, let's see if I can see it in here. That hose right there goes straight from the pump all the way down to the rack, which you're not going to be able to see. My stock hose is messed up, so I just got that to replace it. That was 65. The drive shaft I got custom made from Drift Motion. Like I said before, that was 380. The ECU, this is one of the big ones. The ECU is a AM Infinity 6. I have it chilling in the stock location. This is actually the cover for it. So it's sitting right there. The wires that I have going up to it come up in here. So it's just easier for me to hook my computer up when I need to do logs. So that was, I believe, was $12.50. Yep, $12.50. The clutch is the ACT. I forget the stage. I want to say it's stage 4. That was $5.30. The gauges that I have are the AEM and glow shift. That totaled out to about $500. Tuning will get you. The tuning that I get, it's tuned by Ian over at FSR. So far I've paid about $500, but I still have another dyno day to do, so that'll probably add on a couple $100 after. The exhaust, I got a custom exhaust. Showed you guys that in the last video. That was total about $600, so it was 30 bucks for the mufflers that I got. Like I said, they're just 2 Amazon mufflers. There's a vibrant 12-inch resonator in the middle, and then all the fab work to get it done was totaled out to about $600. The other shop that I wanted to go to quoted me about $1,200, and I was not down for that. Coilovers, BC Type BR coilovers. That would be these. I can be able to see them from the underside of the car. I'm happy with them. They're cost effective. A lot of guys are running them. The body kit, I showed you that. KBD. That was $1,000. And the wrap. Showed you guys that in the last video too. So keep in mind, all these prices are, I got a deal on a lot of these parts. And I did all the work myself. So if you're not going to do the work yourself, you're going to want to add on a pretty good amount of money. I think doing the wrap, having that done by someone else is probably at least $2,000. I did the entire swap myself. It's in the garage. It's not all that hard. Honestly, on this chassis, it's really easy because the car comes stock with a 2J anyway. So it's pretty much just drops in. The only fab work I had to do was, what did I have to do? Oh, I had to bang the firewall for about 3 hours to get the transmission to fit because the bell housing on the CD09 is so much bigger than the, I want to say W55 that comes in here. But other than that, it was pretty easy. Took about a year for me to do it. Most of it was just saving for parts. And yeah, so all that totals out to, get it here. Nope, doesn't want to focus. There it goes. Just under $17,000. So my original budget for the car was 10 grand, and then I decided to go single turbo and do all the retarded stuff, so that added up pretty quick. But there you go. I don't know what else there is to say about it. It's a lot of money. Definitely going to spend more money because it's not done yet. But it's totally worth it. Bang for buck. There's not really a lot more things you can do. Obviously LS, but that's a lot more work. Yep, there you go. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment, subscribe, follow my Instagram. I'll put my Instagram and my Twitter around here. And see you in the next one. Peace.